Next up on WTV, a look at a national tragedy, this week's edition of Real Talk, and today's Sports Minute. WTV's Daily Update starts now. Good morning, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Thursday, April 18th, and I'm Aliza Porter with today's Daily Update, brought to you by Wingspan TV. The burning of the Notre Dame Cathedral was a tragedy that not only affected people in France, but Catholics and lovers of classic architecture everywhere. WTV's Madigan Gunya has the story.
Notre Dame is more than a church for Catholics. It's a symbol of a country who has faced war and division.
Notre Dame was built in the 1100s, so it's 800 to 900-ish years old. And it's kind of a cultural symbol for not just France, but specifically for Paris. Even those people who aren't necessarily religious, because it is a Catholic cathedral, so kind of an icon of Christianity, it's still a symbol of their country. It survived religious wars, it survived the 100 Years' War, French Revolution, World War I, World War II, and for it to be taken out by what they think is something to do with kind of the reconstruction of it. It's just devastating, I think, to the French people.
As devastating as Monday's fire was, the cathedral is still standing with key components spared.
So a lot of it's stone, so a lot of it is still standing. I think some people think it's gone, and it's not totally gone. The roof's gone, the spire's gone. Those are made of wood. But just the architectural feats in the stained glass window, the rose windows, they're just very important artistically.
An icon of a religion, the Catholic cathedral is considered an architectural masterpiece.
Notre Dame was, like I said, one of the prime examples of high Gothic architecture, and so it really influenced the way that a lot of other major cathedrals in Europe were built for the entire Gothic time period, right up until the Renaissance, and even then, like, those aspects were still brought back in, like the nave with the transept, the two bell towers, that became really indicative of Gothic architecture. It even then re-inspired Neo-Gothic architecture in the 19th century, so it's had a really big influence on the way that cathedrals are built and the way that they look.
For those on campus who have been to Paris, Notre Dame is one of many places to visit. But for Hill, there's a much more personal connection to the cathedral.
I lived in Paris for a summer right next to Notre Dame, so I got to see it every day, so it's really sad to me personally because that was something that was a big part of my life while I was living in Paris.
This is Madigan Gunya reporting for WTV.
The burning of this cathedral hits close to home in a prominent week for Catholics, as Good Friday marks the start of Easter and a 4-day weekend. On this week's edition of Real Talk, WTV's Jennifer Hernandez hits the halls to ask students what the 4-day weekend means for them.
This is WTV's Jennifer Hernandez with this week's edition of Real Talk, and today we're going to hit the halls and ask students about what this upcoming 4-day weekend means to them. What does this upcoming 4-day weekend mean to you?
Well, it doesn't really mean much to me because I don't celebrate Easter and my family doesn't celebrate Easter.
What does this upcoming 4-day weekend mean to you?
Oh, well, it's really important for me to celebrate Easter, so it's time to be thankful for what, Christ did for us, and also another time for me to, come together and celebrate with my family.
What does this upcoming 4-day weekend mean to you?
I think the fact that we have 4 days means a lot to me because we get to spend a lot of time with family. Easter's coming up, Good Friday, good times. But I just think I can't wait to spend time with family and friends and celebrate.
Does the 4-day weekend mean anything to you?
It gives me a chance to sleep in.
Does the 4-day weekend mean anything to you?
Honestly, it's more of just me having fun and having a reliever from school because I don't really celebrate Easter. I mean, a lot of my friends do, but it's not something that we do, and I'm just probably going to be working all weekend.
This has been WTV's Jennifer Hernandez with this week's edition of Real Talk.
On this week's edition of My Life As, WTV takes a look into the life of softball player Sakshi Bowar.
I play outfield. Usually practices start at either 7:30, 8, and on game days it's 8:30. And we'll be usually up at the field and we'll ask the coaches what we need for equipment, and then we'll all bring it up. JV will usually either start fielding or batting, and then varsity will do the opposite. And then infield and outfield have their own specific drills, and then in the end we usually come and do a game. I like being part of the team because everyone is always there for each other and is picking each other up. There's a real connection between all of us. I commit a lot of time to playing softball, so usually I come in during practices, and then we have games 2 days a week during season. And I also have batting lessons every week, and it's just a big part of my life. But a couple of my main goals would probably be gaining more confidence and hitting the inside pitches, because I still need to work on that. I like playing softball because it just gives me a time to de-stress, and when I'm playing softball, it just makes me forget about everything else, and I just focus on the game. It's just like that either 1.5 hour or 2 hours where it's just softball, so I don't have to worry about what homework is there, what tests are there the next day, or what quizzes, or I'm just focusing on one thing.
With the baseball team's 3-1 win against Lebanon Trail on Tuesday, senior pitcher Tim Winia left hitters speechless as he achieved something no Red Hawk has ever done before. WTV Sports brings you the story.
For pitchers in baseball, there are in-game achievements that one can strive for, yet only a few can achieve. On Tuesday night against Lebanon Trail, senior pitcher Tim Winia set the school record for strikeouts in one game, fanning 18 Trailblazers. It started with the second batter of the game, and before long, he knew the night could be special.
The first batter lined out, and then after that, I struck out the other two for the inning, and then the next three the next inning, and then kept striking the side out every single inning. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to break the high school record tonight.
For assistant baseball coach Michael Sapanik, the thought of Winia doing something special came even earlier.
It really all started in pregame. I took a moment to walk down and watch a couple of his pitches in the bullpen, and just hearing the glove pop and seeing the ball come out of his hands, it looked different.
As the strikeouts added up, Winia couldn't help thinking about what he was doing.
I kind of knew the whole time that there's a possibility of me breaking the strikeout record, and I was pretty confident I could do that, even with that people telling me, because supposedly that's bad luck. But even with that, I just kind of figured that I could muscle it out and break it. So
Before the night was over, Winia had racked up 18 strikeouts in a performance for the ages.
It's not supposed to happen. I mean, your defense is there for a reason to make plays, and when a kid strikes out 18, it's unfathomable. I mean, it's ridiculous. And 2 of the other 3 outs, he picked kids off. So really, he was responsible for 20 of the 21 defensive outs. I've never been a part of anything like that. I've been a part of no-hitter, I've been a part of a perfect game, I've never been a part of an 18 strikeout performance.
Despite the team's season not going as planned, Tuesday's performance is one bright spot for the team, one that satisfies Winia as he knows the impact on the program.
I think just by breaking the record and having my name in the field house saying most strikeout record, I think that'll be up there for a couple years. And just seeing that every time I go back in, especially being a senior leaving next year, having to know for a fact I made an impact on the program, that just makes me happy by itself.
Reporting for WTV, I'm Roy Nitzen.
If you're looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. WTV's Wade Glover has today's announcements.
The PTSA is hosting the first annual kickball tournament fundraiser for senior scholarships on Friday, April 26th. Students looking to donate items or volunteer can follow the QR code on screen. Students looking to compete in the tournament can scan this QR code to sign up. The 4th annual Red Hawk Volleyball Beach Tournament is Friday, May 3rd. Scan the QR code on screen if you would like to compete.
That's it for today's Daily Update. This is Aliza Porter for Wingspan TV.